I still remember the exact moment her words broke something inside me. Not loud, not shouted, just whispered like a verdict. You'll never make it. Not in this lifetime. She said it so casually, stirring her coffee, not even looking at me, as if my dreams were an inconvenience she needed to dismiss before moving on with her day. I didn't argue. I didn't even flinch. I just swallowed hard, nodded, and tried to pretend something inside me hadn't collapsed. But that wasn't the first betrayal. Just the one that finally woke me up. Back then I thought love meant enduring every wound quietly. I thought relationships were supposed to feel heavy, complicated, almost painful. And maybe that's why I stayed long after I should have walked away. Her name was Aisha. Beautiful. Brilliant. Ambitious. But her ambition had sharp edges, and I was always the one bleeding on them. We met when we were both 23. Both dreaming about life, careers, success. Except my dreams didn't fit her definition of realistic. I wanted to start a small design studio. She wanted a husband with a stable salary and a predictable life. I wasn't that man. At least not yet. But the first real crack wasn't her words. It was the silence. The kind that sneaks into a relationship and builds walls brick by brick. The kind where you're in the same room but feel miles away. She stopped asking about my work. Stopped reading my sketches. Stopped caring. I'd sit beside her on the couch with a notebook in my lap, and she'd scroll through her phone, smiling at messages I wasn't allowed to ask about. Every time I asked, she said the same thing. Don't be insecure. I'm not responsible for your confidence problems. She was right, I was insecure. But not because of her messages. Because of the way she looked at me, like she was always comparing me to someone else. One night I found out who. It was 2:34 a.m. I woke up thirsty and reached for her side of the bed. Empty. Light was leaking from the living room. I walked out quietly, rubbing my eyes. She was on a video call. With him. I stood there, frozen, listening to her laugh, a laugh I hadn't heard in months. The soft, private kind that used to be mine. He asked her something I couldn't fully hear. She answered clearly. No, he's asleep. Don't worry. He never wakes up. Me. I walked back to bed without saying a word. And I think that silence, that quiet, raw moment of knowing, hurt more than any dramatic confrontation ever could. The next morning she acted normal. Made breakfast. Kissed my cheek. Told me to have a good day. A perfect performance. I didn't say anything. Not yet. Because something inside me shifted that night. Not in anger but in clarity. The world didn't end. My heart didn't explode. I didn't collapse. I just realized I couldn't save us anymore. The worst part was that I still loved her. Or maybe I loved the version of her I invented in my head. The girl who used to sit with me on the rooftop and talk about the future like it belonged to us. But that girl was gone. In her place was someone who saw me as a stepping stone. A temporary comfort. A man with potential she didn't believe in. And somehow she made me believe that too. For months, her words replayed in my head like a cruel soundtrack. You'll never make it. You're not practical. You're too emotional. You should be grateful I'm still with you. You think you're special, but you're not. It's incredible how easily words can become prisons. The day I left wasn't dramatic. No bags thrown. No screaming. No accusations. Just a quiet Sunday morning. She was on her phone as usual, laughing at something she didn't bother explaining. I watched her for a moment, really watched her. And for the first time I didn't feel pain. Just relief. I'm leaving, I said. She looked up slowly, confused. Leaving what? You, I said. This. Everything. She laughed. Actually laughed. You're being childish. Sit down. We'll talk. No, I said. We've talked enough. Her face hardened. So where will you go? I don't know yet. She smirked. Exactly. You can't even take care of yourself. You'll be back. I didn't reply. I just walked out. That was the last time I ever saw her. The next decade was the hardest and most beautiful journey of my life. I worked 3 jobs. Lived in a 1-room apartment where rain leaked through the ceiling. Built my studio from scratch. I failed. A lot. But I kept going. Every struggle, every humiliation, every small victory was a step away from her voice and closer to mine. I grew. I learned. I evolved. I became the man she said I could never be. 10 years later, my design studio wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. We had clients in 3 countries, a team of 8, and a waiting list 6 months long. I bought an office, then a home, then a life I once thought was impossible. And that's when fate decided to play its cruel little joke. She walked into my office. Aisha, older, still beautiful, but with a tiredness in her eyes that didn't exist before. She didn't recognize me at first. "Hi," she said nervously. "I'm here about a design proposal. The receptionist said the owner would see me." "I am the owner." Her eyes widened in slow motion. Shock, recognition, then disbelief. "You?" "Yes," I said softly. "Me." She swallowed hard. "I didn't realize you made it." I finished. She looked away ashamed. I was immature. I shouldn't have. "It's all right," I said. "You taught me something valuable." She looked up hopefully. "What's that?" I smiled gently, not cruelly. "That I don't need anyone to believe in me before I believe in myself." She nodded, blinking fast, holding back emotions. "I'm happy for you," she whispered. "I hope you are," I replied. "Truly." She opened her mouth to say something else, but I gently motioned to the door. "I'm afraid I can't take your project. We're fully booked, for a long time." She understood. And she left quietly, without a fight, without excuses. When the door closed behind her, I didn't feel triumph. Not revenge. Not satisfaction. Just peace. Because the best revenge is a life so beautiful that the person who doubted you realizes they were never meant to be part of it. And that's exactly what I built.